Let's go camping. Okay, so you get an idea. So you've seen where I go from survival to a little bit more comfort. Then I get into the luxury items, the Cadillac of relaxation in the outdoors. So what I carry is, I'll move these right out of the way so we get a better idea. So parts 1 and 2 are out of the way. In here, I have my large pack. I carry all these extra fun items. The stuff you need. Clothing. I have a stuff sack. In here I keep basically a second set of clothing for if I do tip. I don't carry a lot of clothing out there. I will wash it as I go. I keep my shave kit inside, the standard stuff, toothbrush, toothpaste, whatever other little things I need. I'll do another video on that and show you the stuff in there. I don't crush the stuff sack down all the way. What I've been finding is I used to jam it in so it's a tight little box or a tight little round thing. But when you start putting stuff in here, you end up with wasted space. So if you leave a little bit of room for parts of it to squish, it actually fits better into the packs. And I do that also with my sleeping kit. So I carry just a simple little sleeping bag. If I'm going for a longer expedition or whatever, or colder one, I will carry more equipment. Usually I just put on clothes. I have a hat that I keep inside my jacket. That keeps me warm a lot, just inside this little sleeping bag. This one's good to -5. And again, I'll go to Arctic stuff. I like my creature comforts, as I mentioned, so I have right here, this is my Big Agnes. It's huge, 25 inches wide, 6 feet 3 inches tall, I think, or something like that. It's a really great piece of kit. It goes 2.5 inches thick. I really like it when it's thick. I don't notice stones. It takes dips out of the ground. It is fantastic. Go with a big, thick, cushy one. Yes, you gotta blow it up. Takes a bit more time on that end, but so worth it. I keep my stove and I have my fuel bottles. I usually keep 2. Sometimes I find I don't need it, but I boil lots of water when I'm out and I do lots of things with the fuel. So to me, it's handy. My water purification, it's just your standard Katadyn. This is an older version, but now the new Katadyn bought them out. So that's all that. I got my 4-season tent, which you've seen in other videos. Love that tent. The poles, they're all going to go in here nice and comfy. Other things, my spoon that I whittled, because I whittled it, so of course I'm going to have it. I keep my pot. I like this big pot. A lot of people don't carry big pots. Oh, it's too much of a waste, whatever. This thing is fantastic. If I'm out with my buddies, I can store more food in it. If I'm cooking MREs or IMPs, they easily fit in here. If I'm making stews, it all fits in here. I could boil a large sum of water right away as opposed to little bits, keep it going. So that's what I would carry in there. When you're packing it away, what I find is it's more useful. Don't just pack it like this, it's kind of a waste. I flip it over so that the little pointy part's sticking down so it doesn't pierce anything. But I keep the almighty toilet paper in there, an extra knife, fork, and spoon. And I'll probably carry, I'm going to start carrying like sponges, all the cleaning equipment, filling more stuff in here. If you have this sort of space that you can't crush down, you might as well fill it with items as much as you can. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to keep like items with like items, so long as you know where they are and they're all nice and neatly piled. Inside here, I keep, this is my sink or bucket. It's perfect. I fill it up. I leave it near the campfire full, so I got a bucket that I can dump on the campfire if I need to quickly rinse my hands. It's right there. It's extra water to boil if I got to walk further from the lake. But usually I'm quite close to the lake. So it's in here. It also protects my pot. I keep a Sea to Summit collapsible plate, or yeah, collapsible plate kind of bowl thing. I don't use this all the time. The reason I take it with me is because it easily drops on the bottom, gives a little more support, makes a great cutting board if I need it. It does have that little lip in the edge if I want to eat from it or whatever. So I have the options. I like options. Again, that fits nice and neatly in here. Once it all piles up, it can crush in and get banged around, but the whole thing protects that. Of course, I keep my good axe, and I also keep my saw. This I find I use a lot more, but I have them both with me. As well as on the pack, I have a kukri from Cold Steel. This is great. I've had this for almost 20 years now. Fantastic piece of equipment. The side pouch is where I'm going to keep most of these items. The water purification, the stove, the items that I'm going to get in and out of a lot, I keep in there. One thing I also wanted to mention, I keep it's a towel. It's not a huge towel, but it's a towel nonetheless. What I do at night when I'm trying to sleep, I keep it sewn up because it'll just dry me off when I get out of the water. It's good enough. It dries just as fast. I keep my clothes in here, all my extras, and when it's nighttime, I loosen it off. Now I have a really comfortable pillow. This is great. It takes away the hard plastic parts so you don't end up with funky lines on your face. Not that that's all bad, but it can be. I keep half a roll of paper towel in here. Pretty much once this is done, I think I'm gonna stop. I usually use napkins. Those you can just put in a Ziploc bag as well. I keep my bug coil inside my bug coil thing. I've had this for years. I got this little cookie tin, and inside here it fits bug coils perfectly. So I keep lots of them because if you can't do a fire, that's really annoying. But at least if you have this, it's one thing you can keep away. And inside this cookie tin, they don't break, so it's really handy. I keep my tent pegs that go with the tent off to the side here, just because, again, it's just out of convenience, because the tent will squish down and move around, so I keep the poles separate, I keep the pegs separate, and I don't want the pegs piercing into anything. I also keep my toolbox. I'm going to make a whole video on this one here. This is amazing. I keep all little parts that I can fix anything with in an emergency. In the very bottom, I keep the straps that go with the Bergen. This is an old British Bergen backpack that I got when I was in the Army years ago. Not in the British Army, but when I was in, I went and got this when I was in England. As well as in the front here, I keep a tarp. It's again another British shelter half. Doubles as a stretcher. I love it. It stuffs down. It's easy to get into. I have it right near I have some bungee cords in here that I keep as well, so I can build an emergency shelter if I need to right away. But also, it's something to keep me out of the rain, which again is very important. Not on a beautiful day like today. Inside the top part, I don't carry tons. I leave it open so I can get in and out of it. I'll keep my map for when I'm canoeing. I keep paracord. I keep a sharpening steel with the case that decided to take a walk on me. So sharpening steel for all my knives and equipment. And I keep a little candle lantern. I like it up here because I keep watching on that one spot. And if I need it, if it's getting dark, I got the candle lantern to get into quickly. Inside the main pouch, I carry an orange garbage bag to put everything in. It also can work as a signaling device. Keeps everything relatively dry, provided there's no holes in it. And that's about it. So I'm not going to get into all the details. Oh, one more thing, sorry. I keep the huge, it's not a bandana, I forget what it's called. I'll put a little thing on the scroll on the bottom once I remember. Inside here, I got the remnants of my MREs or IMPs, whichever I happen to be eating with. I'll tuck those in little parts all over the pack as well. I came out here, I had 6 meals. I packed some in here, some in my small pack, all over the place, so it was real easy that way. But I am going to a new food system that I've learned. Colleen basically showed me a really good one where she kept a lot of great stuff in just a small jar, and I'm like, oh, so jealous. But anyway, I'll roll it up. What I like about this is I have this it has millions of uses, which we all know, but I used it as a little bag last night, tied it up because, well, a raccoon got into my food, and which I wasn't expecting. So I hung it from a tree, not so much for bear because it wasn't a very tall tree. But that's it, guys. So that's a 3-part system. So what I'll do is I'm going to pack it all up. So again, my stove kit will go here. One of my fuel bottles. My water. Purification. quick walk through the pack system. Again, this one's on here as I cruise through the woods. This is what I could do with the two-part system. But with this, take this, slides up, now becomes a chest harness. And again, you can adjust this to make it tighter if you want, which I'm not gonna, because I'm gonna take it off and throw it in the canoe. And then waist. Again, I would tighten this up. But clip your waist pouch on. I take this and I throw that still over my shoulder. And that's it. I'm good for hiking. But for now, it's all going in the canoe. So, again, you see me pack up the kit. Thanks for watching, guys. Dave Henson, Bush Troopers, bushtroopers.com.